Guys, she's down. She's down. What's going on, guys? We are in southern Michigan, headed to my property right now. We're about 20 minutes out. It is Saturday, November 1st, and I am stoked. I have basically 2 full weeks of hunting with a little bit of work thrown in there. So we've been seeing some pretty good movement. I got some reports this morning that there were some bucks running does around, and the rut should be about starting. This weekend, all the way through 2 weekends from now, is when I'm going to be headed back. Opening of gun is not this weekend, but next weekend, so should make for a pretty interesting time. I am on a mission to fill the freezer for the winter. We normally, meaning Sarah and I, my girlfriend, eat 1 to 2 deer a year. With Sarah and I moving in together last year, we went through 2 deer no problem this year. So I'm going to try and shoot 2 deer myself, and then hopefully when Ike gets out here next weekend for opener of gun, he'll be able to harvest 1. And then my family, meaning my dad and my sister, always normally harvest 1 or 2. But I am so beyond excited to go get up in a tree. It'll be the first time getting in a tree all year. I'm a little bit late to the party. I did some early season hunting out of a ground blind or a pod with Sarah. It was her first time going out. But man, I am jazzed to go sit in a tree. It has been forever. Crossbow is all sighted in. I have the GoPro mount hooked up to the crossbow so we can follow the shot. First time ever filming, actually trying to shoot a deer. So we're going to see how it goes and see what we can track down. We're not shooting any buck less than a big 8. Normally our rule is you only shoot the buck if it's the biggest buck you've seen. So we're going to get out there, put some time in the woods, and see what walks our way. Good morning, y'all. It is the morning of day 2, and we got out here a little bit later than we wanted to. Last night was a little bit of a bust. We saw a couple 6 points and some decent bucks, but nothing that was shooter worthy. So we are in a different spot this time, hunting a food plot and a scrape line that I know of. I actually found it walking in yesterday. Okay, y'all. It is night 2, and I've already seen 3 deer. I kicked up 2 walking in like you guys saw, and then I kicked up 1 right behind me when I was walking into the blind. But I think it should be good. Last night the deer came from behind me and were off to my right or my left. So I'm going to need to figure out how to exactly to swing this tripod camera around and try and get it on video. But we'll see how it goes down. So this is the same shot. That doe came out and just refused to turn broadside. I hit her with a doe call and she kind of stuck her tail up and ran a little bit, but she didn't go far. There was another deer deeper into the thick stuff over to my front. So I know there's still deer in there. They're all kind of coming behind me, and it's really hard to get a camera angle. Whoever films and hunts, you're nuts. This shit is really hard. Good morning, y'all. It is day 3 of deer hunting camp. It's now Wednesday, November 5th. I ended up working the past 2 days and have been working on that coyote hide a little bit. Hunting is not looking great for today. It's pretty windy and the solar isn't lining up very well with with kind of morning and night. Regardless, I think it should be just about peak rut. Peak rut should be like today until the end of the week on Sunday. So we're out here back in the pool trying to shoot a deer. Now that we have some time off, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 5 days, I'm gonna try and really double down on harvesting a doe. I just want to make sure that I get some meat in the freezer, but I'm definitely gonna be doe hunting a lot. Okay, that was really cool to see. The turkeys were up in the tree just off to my right about 30 yards, and they flew down on into the swamp. So, my dad has a turkey license. I don't have one. We'll see if he ends up getting one. I'm trying to buy one right now. Eagle-eyed Dad just said that there's a buck working this ridge right behind me, heading towards me. So, we're gonna see what comes out of that. The turkeys are still in the swamp in the exact same spot. They went west and then came back. There was a nice doe just that way. I think the buck is coming in to look at this doe. We're gonna sit and wait, but the woods are starting to eat up. My dad just had a 10-point in the food plot. Okay, y'all, night 3. This morning was interesting. We didn't end up shooting anything. So we had turkeys up in the tree that you guys probably saw. We had a little spiker, a 4-point, walking around along the river on the other side. My dad saw a nice 10-point, and then there was a nice buck kind of behind me that I never got to see. I'm sure the wind noise is terrible. Turned my body to kind of block it. But tonight should be different. There were a bunch of deer chasing each other in the swamp, so I'm thinking that the rut is getting to get started here, and we are on the first day of our 5-day hunt week, so should be a pretty good time. Of course, I'll check in later as I see deer, but we're not being picky. We're going to shoot does, bucks, going to get some meat in the freezer, then we can start hunting for some horns. I see 2 does over to my left. They're not huge, but I think it's a mom and a baby, and they're kind of running through the underbrush. It's a good sign. We also had that spike kind of come across the river. Right now it's about 4:30, 5 p.m., so we still have a good hour. It's starting to get late on night 3, so I'm not sure if we're going to get a deer tonight, but man, look at how pretty that sunset is. Holy smokes, the camera doesn't even do it justice. The entire sky is just lit up with this pink. Okay, good morning, y'all. It is morning 4, day 4 of hunting. We're getting ready, we're putting on clothes and getting out there. I am actually going to switch spots this morning, so I'm going to be hunting in what we call the lavender pod, which is right near the lavender field. We had some good bucks on camera last night. That's where, if you've seen the TikTok, the kind of nice 9-point that was walking through the brush, that's where he's from. So we're going to get suited up and we're going to head out there. But it is cold this morning. It is like 28 degrees. I walked outside, my truck had frost on it, and it was all frozen. And it takes a lot for me to be cold. It was cold. So we're going to get all snuggy warm. I think right now it's about 30. I walked by a possum on the way in. Alright, y'all. That's a wrap on morning 4. Not a whole lot going on in the woods this morning. I heard a deer to my left, but I didn't end up seeing him. I think he went the other way. My dad saw 3 or 4 deer, but nothing shooter worthy, nothing in range. So we're gonna head in, work on some of our projects that we have to get done, and then we'll head out for a late afternoon, kind of early night sit. We are in a different stand tonight, kind of further into the brush. It's night 4, so we're kicking it off strong with a different sit. I don't know exactly what's gonna go down, but it is 3:29 right now. We're all set. So we're gonna sit. I've been seeing deer kind of bust through here back and forth. I can see this spot from across the ditch where I've normally sat. So we're gonna give it a good go tonight, see if anything's moving around.
in front of me left. I could have shot the doe with the wonky ear, but we made a commitment that we weren't going to shoot that doe. She's shown up on trail cams every once in a while. There were a bunch of other does walking around, and one little spike, they got pushed out of the brush by the spike. That's not what we're looking for. I'd happily take a doe if one was presented, but this is the spot to shoot a big buck. He's given me a good shot, but he's not what we're looking for. Just a little spike. Guys, she's down. She's down. I can hear her. She didn't go far. That was a decent doe for sure. Oh, I'm shaking. Okay. I smoked her. I didn't get a pass through, but I saw my lighted knock get into her and she went down. She's just over there. I don't know if I got it on camera. I really hope I did. I'm gonna check the footage real quick, and then I'm gonna text my dad and let him know that I got one down.
Alright, y'all, I'm walking in, and that's the moon tonight. Might keep going, but I just want to show you guys that. Alright, guys. We found her. Only went about 100 yards. Put a good shot on it. Couldn't be more happy. We're gonna field dressing and get it back up to the house.
Good morning, y'all. It is about 10 a.m. and we are doing a little mid-morning sit. So I just got set up in the bowl. My dad and my sister are in the redneck blind, which I can see from here. It's just over that way. We are buck hunting. So, rule of thumb is, you only shoot the biggest buck that you've seen. Everything else, you let him walk. That's what we're going to be doing today. I think I have a better percentage chance of seeing a buck here than in the swamp. For right now, I don't want to put too much pressure on the swamp, because I might go back there and hunt that tonight. So, we're sitting in the bowl. We're going to give him a good shake. We'll see if we see any animals moving around. It is night 5. It's about 4 p.m. We're back in the swamp tonight. I'm wearing a face mask because a deer were seeing my face last night. I could definitely tell. It's the next night after we shot that doe. We got out here a little bit later because we were putting up another stand off in the swamp, which is basically to my, like this. I'm sitting straight on like this, out that way. So I'm gonna hunt there tomorrow morning. It should be a really good spot. Really nice buck scrapes in there. So it looks really, really good. But anyway, I'm hunting the swamp tonight. We have meat in the tree, which is phenomenal. And now we are just big buck hunting. This morning was kind of quiet. Really only saw that spike. But again, we weren't out for peak hours. So we're gonna see how tonight goes and just kind of keep an eye out and see what's going on. Morning of day 6. We're sitting in our new stand. While I was walking in around 6:30, right next to our barn, there was a buck grunting and breaking branches and going nuts. So that's just off to my right from where I'm sitting. It should be a pretty good morning sit. The wind is not right for where I'm sitting, but that's okay. It's gonna be a good morning. I can feel it. Guys, there's a shooter walking up on me right now. He's only got one antler, so we're gonna let him live another year, but holy f***, he was right below my stand making a scrape. That was insanity. Holy shit. I'm not sure if I got it on video, but that is the scrape that buck made that was standing right in front of me. It is 10 o'clock in the morning, and we're gonna get down out of the stand. We have deer to clean, so we're gonna go clean that deer and get it all processed. And then I'm gonna come back out around 2:30 and start my sit. What an electric morning. Oh my god, that was crazy.
A quick editor's note. I'm actually sitting here with my editing buddy, Moose, and I realized that I didn't film any clips except for some junk ones on my phone because all of my SD card storage was full. What happened here is we ended up getting a crazy amount of snow, like 3 inches in very early November, and it was just dumping on me the entire time I was sitting out in the blind. So I have a couple of quick clips of what that looks like and kind of where it was, but not a whole lot happened that morning, and I had to head out that evening to go over into Michigan, kind of towards Detroit to work. So this is kind of the end of the video. I'll roll some clips after this shortly, but thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it, and come back next time because as I'm editing this, I have a buck hanging in the tree. So we got our buck.